And that's somehow my fault. It's not gonna be my fault anymore.
I'm not sentimental, but there's something about the way you look tonight. Makes me wanna take a picture.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are doing makeup therapy. I'm not gonna lie, I thought the makeup therapy trend was the girlies kind of spilling their tea while doing their makeup, but apparently it's just doing your makeup to make yourself feel better. But I'm gonna do my own take on makeup therapy today, and we're gonna be spilling some of my own personal tea while I do this look. I'm just gonna warn you guys now, the makeup may not be the greatest because this is my second time filming this. The first time was a big hot mess. Like, microphone wasn't on, my camera was filming in slow motion, no audio, big huge mess. And then also part 2 of the big huge mess, I put away all my filming equipment before I realized that I didn't film this intro. So this quality is gonna look different from that quality, but let's get into me spilling my own tea in makeup therapy. Hey, it's me in editing, still trying to work out like camera angles and like settings and stuff. So I know like the focus is kind of crazy and like I'm not centered, but we're still trying to figure out all of the specs of this new camera and how I should angle it best, how it should be lit best. So let's have some grace, please. Thank you. So the first order of business with this therapy is a friendship breakup. I know like the general rule of social media is talk about your scars and not your wounds, but this has been going on in this friendship for so long that it honestly feels like a scar versus a wound. So I thought I would tell you guys about what happened literally last night, 2 days ago. Yeah, like 2 days ago, I posted on my Instagram story a political opinion that I had. And if you guys have just listened to me speak before, you may have an idea of which way I lean politically. I feel like I just put way too much of this stuff on. So I posted a political opinion in my close friends, which really has only like 12 people in it. Someone that I'm really close to had replied to my story. I had purposefully ignored their message because I didn't want to get into it with them. I didn't want it to be a discussion. I just wanted to be able to post my opinion and go, which I am entitled to doing. But later on in the evening, they texted me, "Did you see my Instagram message?" Honestly, what I replied was, yes, I saw it. I was trying to find the nicest way to say that I didn't really want it to be up for discussion, but this is why I said what I said, and that's all I have to say on the matter. This person, who I have been super close with for 10 years, decided to type a whole paragraph basically bashing me, saying, well, you're not exactly political, and now you're coming out of the woodwork to spread propaganda, and as much work as I do in the streets, it's just weird to me that you're deciding to be political all out of nowhere, and blah, 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 blah. This person has a history of trying to one-up somebody to feel good about themselves. They have a history of trying to feel morally superior to someone to find something to like about themselves. And I knew that, so I kind of put up with it. So we had a falling out very similar to this a couple years ago because it was a version of this, but different. So it was a lot of bashing people based off of the type of media that they consume, right? Like, oh, you listen to this artist, but they did this one thing a million years ago, so you're a bad person for liking them. And it was for every, like, I promise you, they literally had a list in their phone of every celebrity and whatever they've done so that they can keep track of who to hate. I'm not joking. And it's like, if I said, oh, I like this movie, so-and-so is in that movie and they did this, 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 and that. Okay. And I knew it was self-esteem based. I know their self-esteem was not good and they needed to do that. I kind of took it with a grain of salt and was like, if this is what they need to feel good about themselves, whatever, it's not gonna be a huge deal to me. They can have that, right? It got to a point a couple years ago where it was just insufferable. So I literally just blocked them. I don't think I blocked them, but I think I just stopped responding to their stuff. Like if they tried to text me, I would ignore it. I truly can't remember if I blocked them. And then I don't know how we ended up reuniting. I don't know. It probably wasn't me because I like to stand on business, but I think this person was just like, hey, I miss you, I'm sorry, that shouldn't have happened, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, like there was no argument, there was no blow up. We just like went our separate ways. But now there's an argument and a blow up, right? I kind of said like, this is exactly why I said I didn't want to have a discussion on it, blah, blah, blah. But then I realized after I went to go send my rebuttal message to their attack against me, I was already blocked. And I wasn't just blocked on the phone, I was blocked on Instagram and on TikTok. But little do they know, I had a second Instagram page and was able to send my message that way. And then now they are blocked on literally everything. This person has a history, like I said, of blocking people, feeling regretful, maybe we should make up, blah, 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 blah. Not just with me, but with a ton of people. This time, I'm not doing it. I'm not allowing that back into my life. Because if you decided you wanted to revoke your friendship from me over something that could have been talked out, even though I said I didn't want to have a discussion on it, but it was really small. Like it was something that could have been like, you cool down, I cool down, we can reconvene and talk about it later. But if you decided you want to revoke your friendship from me, I don't care how far into the future it is, how much I miss them, how much they miss me, how much we feel like it's stupid, we could have just talked about this. I'm gonna hold you accountable for your actions and you will not have access to me any longer. We are 110% done, and it's unfortunate because like I know their family, I hang out with their family, like we really love each other, and like I really don't have too much of my own family, but I mean it is what it is. You're gonna have to live with the decision that you made when you decided to block me everywhere before I even got to speak with you about how I was feeling. So I don't care what happens in the future. I am 110% done with you. I'm going to hold you accountable like no one's ever done, and I'm done. This person can be very impulsive, but if your impulsive actions hurt people, you don't get to walk them back, at least not with me. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put this powder in this cap and it's not wanting to come out. So your impulsivity has just ruined a 10-year-long friendship, and I hope that when you come to your senses, you can live with that decision because you will no longer have access to me. And that's really it. Like I'm really in the era of protecting my peace and doing what's best for me. And what's best for me is keeping that away from me. I don't want to continue to walk around to be guilty for the things that I like. I'm sorry I liked an Iron Man movie and Robert Downey Jr. was in it and he did this bad thing 30 years ago. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we disagree on something political and it felt like an attack on your self-esteem and your character because you don't have anything else that you like about yourself, and that's somehow my fault. It's not going to be my fault anymore. I'm not going to continue to be the punching bag for your superiority complex because of what you have going on inside of your head. I can't allow that to continue to happen to me as it's been for the past 5 years. So the next thing I wanted to talk about in therapy is finances. So you guys know in my vlogs, I say I'm listening to Caleb Hammer, I'm watching my Caleb Hammer, Caleb, and that is because I made some really bad financial decisions a few years ago. Let me tell you what happened and how I plan to fix it. So a few years ago, I had a credit card with company X, right? Let's just say my credit card limit was like $1,000. When I maxed out that credit card with company X, I discovered I can make a payment and get that credit to use right away. So let's say I maxed out my card at $1,000 and I make a $100 payment. I have that $100 to be able to use right now, even though it takes 2 to 3 business days to process that payment that I just made. So I would make those payments knowing damn well I didn't have that money in my checking account, and at first it would put my checking account into the negatives. So like, let's say I made that $100 payment, that checking account will be in negative $100, and then when I get paid, that money goes back in, everything's good, right? But after a while, company X caught on that I was doing that, and then instead of making it put my account into the negatives, they're like, hey, we know you don't have any money in there. We're just gonna add this to the balance of money that you owe. And just so you guys know, I didn't really get any, and that's no shade to my mom, I didn't really get any financial literacy when I was younger. When I got my credit card, the only thing I was told was pay it or it'll ruin your life. But I didn't learn anything about APRs until way after these accounts were closed by company X. So like, I don't know about an interest rate, I don't know about an APR, I don't know about like certain fees. I didn't know anything about that. I would do that and it would just add on to the balance of what I owe. So instead of being maxed out at $1,000, I am now maxed out at $1,100 because of that fake payment that I made. So I kept doing that for frivolous purchases At the time, it didn't feel like frivolous purchases. It felt like stuff I needed. Like, I'm hungry, I need Panera Bread. Like, I don't have any clothes. I need that new shirt from the mall. And it's like, girl, you didn't need none of that. So I continued to do that. And then I took it a wee bit too far. And I did that for a destination wedding. That's how I paid for my trip to Jamaica. So, and I know the bride would have understood, but I really wanted to go. So like when I tell you, I was in the line at JFK shaking in my boots, like they're not gonna let me on this plane. And then I got on the plane and I was like, okay, I made it. And then I was in line about to check in at the resort and I was like, what if they run my card and they say that there's no money on it? And then they send me back home on the first flight to America or even a boat because they're not gonna let me on the plane. I don't have any goddamn money. So I was shaking until I checked in and then I got in my room and I was like, is this a joke? Is this a prank? Am I good? Am I good? Did my credit card fraud work? Also, I don't know if that's fraud. I don't know that I want to keep using that word, but it might be. It sounds like it is. So when I tell y'all my credit card utilization was and is 190% on that one card, and then I opened another card and did it again. What is wrong with me? So in an attempt to finally get my life together, I got the Fizz card. I'm watching Caleb. If it looks like my makeup has already been done, it's because it has, because this is me refilming this video. I'm watching my Caleb Hammer, and my plan is to finally take my cosmetology state board because Sephora does tuition reimbursement, which I think is really good. So if I took my cosmetology state board before I got hired at Sephora and passed, of course, I would not be eligible for tuition reimbursement, but because I held off for so many years, I am eligible for reimbursement, and I am eligible for a good lump sum of money, like money with a comma in it. And it's not like, hey, call FAFSA, we can credit it to your account. Like, it's going direct deposit check to you. So I'm currently studying to take my cosmetology state board to clear out some debts and hopefully save for a down payment for either a new apartment or a condo, because I have 11 months to get out of this apartment. I have been here for 3 years. You guys have already seen my clean with me while I complained about my apartment. And there was a massive issue about this apartment that I had purposely left out of that video. That is one of the scars I will be talking about once I move out, not my current wound. But it is getting to the point where like, it is damn near like unlivable and I am ready to go. So I am trying to be super strict on myself with my finances and what I buy. Of course, old habits are hard to break, but I just have to look at the bigger picture and just think to myself, is this makeup item, especially when I get training products / gratis from Sephora, is this makeup item, fragrance, like eating out for dinner, like is this worth your dreams? Is this worth your condo? Is this worth potentially renting out a studio space to do makeup out of one day? Like, is it worth it? And that's just kind of how I have to think of things to get myself back on track. I was never on track, but to get myself on track financially so that I don't further ruin my life. So that's kind of it with finances, just holding myself accountable. That is really that on that. Let me just do my my eyeliner. I was like, what's the word? Jesus Christ, I'm like drowning. Oh, Lord Jesus, it's in my eye. So the third and final thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I'm just putting glue on my lash. The third and final thing I wanted to talk to you guys about in this therapy session is fitness. So I have been in a slump, you guys know that. Like once my camera broke, it felt like I've been completely thrown off track and I don't even know what to do with myself anymore, right? So I went from filming and editing and going to the gym and trying to eat right and being on top of my finances to like literally just waking up and seeing where the day takes me. My fall fitness goal when I was on track was initially going to be running. And then I realized the price of running shoes and said, we're gonna try and conquer the Stairmaster this fall. And then I fell off, so I wasn't able to do that. But now that we are back on track, I am gonna give myself all of November to try to conquer the Stairmaster Stairmaster. And by that, I mean just like 45 minutes. I thought I just lost my last child. The goal is 45 minutes. Hopefully with no breaks, but I will allow myself up to 2 breaks since I'm only going to be doing it for a month. So that's going to be like on my upper body days. I'll do a little bit more and more and more on the Stairmaster until I can reach that goal. And I'm going to give myself all of November to do that because my winter fitness goal is going to be teaching myself how to ice skate at my local ice skating rink. So I'll be vlogging that too. And then my spring goal is going to be, I think, running. I think I'll put money aside so that by the spring I can get me some running shoes. And then over the summer, my goal will be roller skating. So I think having a seasonal goal will really help me to kind of stay motivated to continue to do fitness, just because right now, and it's usually just been like, go lift some weights and go home, and like that's cool and all, but I do want to have like something fun to do. So I think that doing these hobbies will help support my weightlifting and keeping me consistent. So that's something that I want to do. Let me do my lips real quick because of course I can't talk to y'all while I do my lips. This is like kind of the face I do on a regular basis. It looks a little wonky just because I just did my makeup and then had to take it off because my camera was, I talk about it in the intro. I already talked about it in the intro. This is the look. This is the look I do on a regular basis. Real cutesy. But yeah, all in all, this is the season of my life where I'm locking in, being focused so I can get my big girl stuff done and creating a stable future for myself. I want to be a wife one day. I want to be a mommy, and I don't want to be dealing with the same struggles that I'm dealing with now that I should have been taken care of, like being financially responsible, emotionally regulated, on a schedule, because I know I operate best on a schedule. So Becoming Her, my health and wellness series, will be returning so that I can hopefully share some of those tips with you guys. And that's really it. I hope you guys liked this therapy session. If you guys have any therapy things that you want me to be your therapist for, I am not a licensed therapist, I'm just a girl with opinions, but I've been told I give pretty decent advice. Let me know, leave it in the comments, or if it's too private to leave in the comments, you can always email me. That's going to be in the description. And the next time I have something to say, we're going to sit down and we're going to do makeup therapy. If you like this video, let me know that you like this video by liking this video, and I'll see you guys next time. And don't forget to subscribe. I worked so hard and I'm finally back, y'all. Please. Love you. Bye. Ew.